Good evening and welcome to this edition of The List on UWB TV. I'm Ryan Hoke alongside Colin Reynolds. For the next few minutes, we'll present our top 5 sports stories of the week and discuss why they made the top 5. Did your top 5 make our list? Let's find out. At number 5, Lakers superstar LeBron James broke headlines about a possible tour on his last season, whenever that is, on All-Star Weekend. The 39-year-old says, "I'm 50-50, I'm going to be honest, but because there's times when I feel like I guess I owe it to my fans that have been along this journey with me for 2+ decades." Colin, how will this affect LeBron's legacy?
Yeah, thanks, Ryan. I think LeBron is definitely going to have a farewell tour. I think this is a lot like when he said he wasn't going to cry when he broke the scoring record. Guess what? He cried. We'd all cry if we broke the scoring record. And trust me, I'm a big LeBron guy, but we know he loves the drama. We know he loves to keep us guessing. So he was going to go out there and say, I'm 50-50 on it. He's going to have a farewell tour. He's not just going to leave the league silently. And just to when that will come, I think we're looking at a 2 to 3 season forecast on that. There have been talks about LeBron James signing a 2 to 3 year extension with the Lakers for the max, making up to $60 million a year. And whether or not he stays with the Lakers will determine a lot. We know he wants to play with Bronny. When and if Bronny makes the league will determine a lot about how long we see LeBron around for. And how it will affect the NBA, I think it's going to dominate the media cycle a lot like when Kobe had his farewell tour. It was easy to forget that the Spurs went 67-15 and the Warriors went 73-9 that year. In retrospect, you can remember it, but it'll dominate the media cycle for sure, Ryan.
Yeah, absolutely. LeBron will have a parade in every city before he can retire, I'll be honest. But for the next story, of course, here at number 4, we got the Brewers all-star pitcher Brandon Woodruff returns to Milwaukee on a 2-year contract. 31-year-old Woodruff is expected to miss most, if not all, of the upcoming season while he recovers from shoulder surgery. But the contract should keep the 2-time All-Star with the Brewers when he returns to the mound, whether that's this year or next year. What do you think about this? What do you think about the rotation going on for this year? I mean, who is going to replace him in production this year, do you think?
Yeah, I think keeping Woodruff around is a good move. Obviously, he likely won't play at all in 2024, and the Brewers also gave up Corbin Burnes. So losing a lot in the pitching game this coming year, but looking at Freddie Peralta, he will be the number 1 pitcher coming up this year for the Brewers, and he showed flashes of greatness last year. Obviously, he wasn't the number 1 guy, but he definitely had some potential, and we'll look to see him improve. Also, Wade Miley will be at the number 2 spot for the Brewers, and they'll also have some veteran leadership with Jacob Junis, Colin Ray, and Joe Ross coming off the bench for the pitching unit. So they'll have some young studs and some veteran leadership to try and help get this pitching game to what it used to be. But their offense is also going to have to be better to make up for the loss in defense, for sure, Ryan.
Absolutely, absolutely. This is going to be one of those years where we have a mixed bag at pitching, I guess. Right now, it's a tough one. We got losing Corbin Burnes was definitely a shot to the heart for us for sure. Woodruff coming back is going to be great, but he's going to be gone this season, so it's going to be a little tough. Hopefully we'll have some production this year, I guess, out of Peralta and some of the new pickups we have as well. But going on to the third story of the day, of course, the Milwaukee Bucks let go of Adrian Griffin and brought in Doc Rivers. The Bucks are on fire after the All-Star break, winning back-to-back in blowout fashion. The next 2 games are against the struggling Hornets. Was Doc Rivers the right move?
Yeah, honestly, Ryan, I think it was. I think the media especially is so quick to go after a coach or go after a guy. They gave him 5 games before they said it was a mistake, and that's just not how it works. You can't expect a guy to come in and immediately turn things around. You have to give it time, and I think everybody in the Bucks organization knew that, and nobody panicked. You look at Giannis speak about Doc Rivers. He says that he thinks Doc is bringing out the best in this team. So you love to see players showing their coaches praise like that. And they might have started 1-5, which is bad, but they're 4-2 in their last 6, and 2 blowout games versus good teams, the 76ers with no Embiid, of course, and the Timberwolves. And their offense has been on fire lately. They're currently 5th in offensive rating, and their defense could be better at 16th, but I think it was the right move, and the Bucks will be fine, Ryan.
Yeah, I think that this is a move that was needed, honestly. I feel like getting Doc Rivers was great. He brings a great presence to Milwaukee. Also, on top of it, too, people forget that before we fired Griffin, the team was not doing great at all. I mean, we were still winning games, we were doing fine, but we were in the little slump of where, we were getting 140 points a game at one point, but still losing. And that's something that we cannot have. I feel like the defense has definitely improved a little bit more, and I feel like this is only the beginning, so I feel like we're going to get better, honestly.
We've got more coming up on the list, including a discussion on UW-Whitewater's men's basketball coming up next. We'll be right back.
Number 32, Kyle Hornsby.
Inside the 30. Touchdown. Michaela Burgess. An incredible finish by Hall.
The NCAA and its member schools offer nearly 500,000 college athletes a path to go pro in something other than sports. Learn more at ncaa.org.
For Hawk Talk, especially on days I'm hosting, you really need to be up early looking at those news stories, even the night before. I'm finding topics that I can incorporate in the show, and I feel like we get a conversation going.
Once you get the opportunity to do that with other people who appreciate it the same level as you do, it makes it that much more enjoyable.
For everything sports, tune in Monday through Thursday at 91.7 The Edge or watch us on UWW TV. Here at UW-Whitewater Intramural Sports, we have a motto: a sport for everyone and everyone in a sport.
Come on. That's it anyways. Oh, she got that off. They're going to count it.
Had a blast. Always have fun at intramurals.
Every day we strive to go above and beyond that goal by providing healthy exercise, promoting leisure education, and giving students that competitive atmosphere they are looking for.
Yes. Yes.
It's exciting. Brings me back to those high school days with Friday Night Lights.
With our 25 different intramural sports offered, we guarantee that we have a sport for you. Go to our website and find your sport today.
Welcome back to the list on UWW-TV. Let's continue this week's countdown of the next top stories. At number 2, UW-Whitewater men's basketball had a tough second half of the season. They were the number 1 team in the country for a week back in late November, to losing 8 out of the last 17 games while being knocked out of the WEAC tournament and a chance in the NCAA tournament. They finished 17-9. What do you think went wrong for them, and what do you think they could improve on as well for the next upcoming season?
Yeah, I think they just hit a rough patch with a young coach still trying to figure things out when it comes to rotations and play calling. The offense looked a little stagnant. The games I watched, I saw a lot of ISO ball, especially in the losses, and when that doesn't work out, they kind of look lost. They'll give the ball to Trayvon Chisholm in the paint and try and let him bang around with it. And most of the time, that's a good option, but if that doesn't work, then you got to figure things out. And on defense, I'm seeing a lot of open shooters against Whitewater, a lot of threes being hit against Whitewater, and also a lot of free throws shot against Whitewater. A lot of games they lost just because of if you look at the free throw differential, it was insane. And games that you can't win if you let teams shoot that many free throws. But looking forward, they are going to lose Delvin Barnstable, Trayvon Chisholm, and James Kelly, 3 studs for them on offense and defense. So they're going to have to look for more production from Miles Barnstable, as well as Jake Quast, Elijah Lambert, Jameer Baker, Isaac Vergis, and Carter Capstrand will still be on the team. So hopefully they can get more production out of them and let Jared Wixer get his feet under him a little bit and have some years to really develop this team.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think for right now and stuff, this season all around was really just, it started out looking like ours, but then just the lumps of, not like unsuccessful games we've had really killed us, honestly. Conference, I mean, we're coming off a 4th straight loss conference right now as well. And there's just a lot of losses during this season that I feel like we shouldn't have lost at all, honestly. Coming on for the next season, I think that we need to do a better job of, well, not a better job, but I think we need to really focus on recruiting for the future, obviously. It's been kind of like a little bit of a hump that they've been in for the last few years, and I think they need to pick it up. But going on to our final story, of course, at the #1 spot of the week, the UW Whitewater women's basketball team are heading to the 2024 Division III NCAA tournament as an at-large bid team. They will host the first round March 1st and 2nd in Catchall Gymnasium on campus. What do you think about us hosting and stuff? This is a really great experience for us to, of course, host again the WEAC tournament. Grandal, of course, is going to be healthy as well. We got a lot of good points for this tournament going into it. What do you think?
Yeah, and I think nobody feels good about that loss in the WEAC tournament to Stout, but nobody wants to come to Catchall Gymnasium in March, and this Whitewater women's basketball team has been on a roll. Aaliyah Grandal is putting up amazing numbers, so is Casey Corallo, and this team, when they're hot, cannot be stopped. And you worry about the defense a little bit, letting up a lot of points to some good teams, but if they get going and they get a couple good breaks on defense, this team can go as far as Aaliyah Grandal can take them, and I think we'll see them make a deep run into late March here in the NCAA D3 tournament.
Absolutely. It's going to be really exciting. I think this year is going to be something that really everyone should be watching, because last year with Grandal being out, we were missing out on the WEAC Player of the Year right there. So having her back this season for the tournament, I think is huge, of course. Of course, we don't have some seniors that we had last year, but I feel like the current players we have right now are just doing fantastic. And I feel like with Grandal back, this is going to be an exciting tournament for us, honestly, and I'm excited for it. And that will do for this edition of The List. We'll be back next week to talk up the latest sports headlines for Colin Reynolds and the members of UWW TV. I'm Ryan Hoke. See you then.